wouldn't call it war. Extermination, maybe. Though, I'd more aptly describe it as a harvest. By the time they reached our world and penetrated the stratosphere, people sought them out in droves to be harvested. Of course, they knew what that actually meant. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been so eager. 10 years before the angels descended from the sky, they had already sent what some referred to as divine retribution, a virus. Though this virus in particular only targeted women. It spread faster than a wildfire and had a 100% mortality rate. Worse yet, it was completely undetectable. In our desperation, we became animals. We locked our wives, daughters, and mothers underground under the constant shine of UV radiation, and they still got infected. Within 5 years, the last woman on Earth died, leaving the rest of humanity to slowly die with her. By the time they arrived, we welcomed them with open arms into every one of our major cities. Most bowed their heads and practically begged to be killed. Some fought against them. These were the ones that still remembered the pain of watching their wives, daughters, and mothers die. They couldn't hope to survive, but at least they could enact their own version of divine retribution. Looking back at it now, I know that the angels planned for them. They wanted us to retaliate, otherwise where would be the fun? Men charged them by the millions, some to die, some to kill. To the angels, it was all the same, until we killed the first one. Back when I used to write, I always made sure to name my hero something memorable. If not a strange name, a strange title. Evan the Incorruptible, Matthew the Harbinger. But in real life, heroes rarely have titles. Some don't even have names. That was the case for humanity's last hero, because no one knew who he was. We had only stories. The stories ranged from fantastical to downright fiction, but it always ended the same. We had killed one. The angels must have been as skeptical as we were, because they refused to change their tactics. They kept all of our major cities, and welcomed anyone to try to take them back. By the 5th dead angel, they learned of their miscalculation. Soon we learned of it as well. Human beings shared mana, and with it, we could do wondrous or terrible things. Magic no longer belonged to the realm of fiction. The elements bent to our will. Lightning struck where we pointed, tornadoes formed where we stood. The ground swallowed up entire cities as we willed it. Suddenly, men stopped volunteering to be harvested. With their newfound power, they decided to fight back, even if our victory had already been stolen from us. They turned us into animals, then backed us into a corner. Foolish. And that was good enough for us. Looking back, I wonder if we were as foolish as the angels. We, who were content with dying in our little blazes of glory, having accomplished nothing but thinning their ranks by just a bit. It was selfish, but what is there to expect from men who had nothing else to live for? None of us had the vision you had. You have. Tyler put the pen down, staring at the word you. He wondered if his letter would ever find its way to this certain you. While humanity had become animals, one man had gone even further. He had been called a monster by both angel and man. Nobody knew which side he fought for, only that he killed both indiscriminately. If Tyler were to write his story, he wouldn't know whether to make this man the hero or the villain. Oh, how he wished he could have written this story. But the only way this story continued was if he died. Beside his letter and pen sitting at the edge of his wooden table was a silver revolver. The single light bulb above him glinted off of its silver barrel. A small grin spread across Tyler's face. He grabbed the gun, its metal like ice, and pressed it to his temple. Enough humans had died where he could stop the bullet with only his thoughts. The bullet couldn't even hurt him, unless he wanted it to. But he did. For the sake of humanity, he needed this bullet to kill him. With his free hand, he picked the pen back up. As the last storyteller on Earth, I bestow you the title of Reaper, a monster, a villain, our last hero. Go forth, Reaper. My death is an offering. With my passing, there will only be 4 humans left. I have already contacted 2 of them, and they will die with me. The last, I'm sure, you will find easily, as your powers will have increased 2-fold. By then, your mind will stretch across the globe, perhaps even the stars. And when you become the last human alive, I cannot fathom how powerful you will be. Show our angels how fragile they are in the face of a god.